Hey guys, I'm Jacinta Robinson and welcome to the Fearlss podcast, where I interview athletes that have achieved incredible things. Today's guest has represented Australia since the age of 20. He has won 50 state titles, 9 Australian titles, and 2 world champion standing wood chops. I'd like to welcome Mitch Argent. So Mitch, you're in Brizzy for the ECA and you're doing some wood chopping competition. Tell us about it.
Yeah, here for the ECA for the 9 days or whatever. So I'm competing every day. There's 4 Australian titles. So yeah.
Wow, and what are the titles for?
So there's 2 Australian titles. There's an underhand and a standing block, and then they go to points at the end of the year. So whoever gets the most points out of the Australian title is crowned the Australian champions of champions.
Oh wow! And then how do you become the winner? Is it like a time thing, or is it a certain way that you chop the wood? Or
yeah, so there's I think there's 32 guys that you start off with, and there's 4 heats, and so 2 guys out of each heat go through to the final. So the heats can be pretty cutthroat at times, you know. So there's 32 of the best guys, and you got to cut first, second in your heat. So then there's an 8-man final.
Yeah.
And then so you line up, there's 8 logs, 8 people, and whoever cuts through that block the quickest is the winner.
And so are you next to each other? Can you see what's going on, or are you just in your world when you're doing it?
Yeah, no, you're only about 3 metres away from the next person, so you sort of get a feel for what they're doing and know whether you're in front a little bit or not, or behind. But yeah, you probably shouldn't be looking at what other people are doing when you're swinging an axe.
Yeah.
So yeah, try and just keep on what you're doing, yeah.
Yeah. And in that moment when you're like, say like you're under pressure, what are you thinking? Like, are you like looking at your feet and thinking, oh my gosh, I don't want to hit them? Or is that second nature now for you? Or like, what's going through your mind? Yeah,
pretty second nature. I don't think I've ever stood to a log and think, oh, geez, I better not cut a toe off. So yeah, you don't really sort of think about cutting yourself. You just sort of think, you know, the way you can cut that log the best you can with, you know, I sort of, before a chop, I'll go through my head and I can pretty well tell you how many hits I'm going to cut that log in before I even start. So that's,
oh my gosh,
that's sort of what I'm thinking about. Yeah.
Yeah. And is there a certain size like for these competitions of the logs?
Yeah. So there's certain size, like we cut from a 10-inch diameter all the way through to a 15-inch diameter log and under and ascending. So there's Australian title in each of them events. So.
Yeah. And then do you get a certain axe? Like, does everyone have the axe or is it up to you?
No, you get your own axes. So, and then you pick whichever one. It's pretty hard to pick out the best axe for that wood. You know, I think I've got over 100 axes at home, you know, so I've got to pick.
Oh my God. You
know, probably 20 to come to the ECA with, and then you get a block and you got to pick which axe is going to cut that block the best. So that's pretty hard to do in itself.
Yeah. How do you choose?
It's pretty easy in the underhand because you actually get to cut a foothold that you stand on.
Yeah. What's an underhand for everyone?
So the underhand's the one where you stand on and cut between your feet, and the standing block's the one with vertical log where you stand there and just hit it. Yeah. So the underhand you get to try your axes in when you cut your foot off. So you get to hit 4 axes in before you try. So you sort of work out which axe is cutting the best in the footholds and run with that. Okay. And then what are the other like you're standing? What are the other competition with the wood chops? Yeah, so you got an underhand where you stand on top of the log and cut between your feet. Yeah. And then the standing blocks of the vertical log where you stand beside it. Yeah. And hit it. And then you got the tree climb where you got 3 boards and you go up 3 levels. So you cut a pocket, put the board in, and keep climbing up like that. Oh, cool. Yeah, it's a pretty difficult one to do. Not real keen on heights, so yeah, I sort of stay away from that one. Probably a bit too heavy to go up on a little board too. So yeah, just mainly concentrate on the underhand and standing is what I do. Yeah. And then you got the sawing events. So you got a single saw, which is like an 8-foot saw that you're on the end of it by yourself, and then the double saw is 2 fellas on the end of a saw. So yeah, they're the main events that we do at the ECA. Yeah. And then to win like the Australian title, is there one for each specific? Is it called a discipline, or what's it called? Like yeah, it probably is called a discipline. I suppose size log is probably the right way. So there's a Australian title for each size log in the underhand and standing. So there's five Australian titles in the standing and 5 in the underhand. So yeah, right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Wow, okay. That sounds crazy. Yeah. Yep. So you could be, and is every person, like say if I was a champion at a little log, how would I going with the bigger log? Would I do okay, or is it something that because
I'm maybe more quicker and not as strong, or how does that work with the competitors?
Yeah, mostly people are pretty good right through the field, but you know, there are some people that can cut a 10-inch log and not cut a 15-inch log, just because of the fitness, you know. Like it's cutting a 10-inch log, you might only put 12 hits in it. Cutting a 15-inch log, you're probably there for a minute and you might put 100 hits in it. So
okay,
fair bit of difference. So anyone can probably win a 10-inch championship, but there's probably only like 3 or 4 fellas that can actually win a 15-inch championship.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. So it's quite taxing. It's quite endurance, hey?
With the bigger logs, yeah, some of them. And the worst thing is you don't know what wood's going to roll out. So they could roll a line of wood out. So it's like cutting concrete. And you could be there for, I think I cut a 15-inch at Sydney in one of the heats it's in like 3.5 minutes or something. So, and I couldn't feel my arms after I finished. So, yeah, I was glad that was over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, crazy. Because different woods would be obviously like harder and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's for sure. You know, we cut from softwood to hardwood to pine to poplar. So, and that's why you need so many axes. You can't sort of take a hardwood axe to a softwood show because you're not even in the race. So that's why you got to have so many axes for the different species of wood.
Yeah, right. Crazy. And for the endurance, like, how do you prep for that? Like, are you training like pre-hand for these competitions, knowing that you may be going over time? Like, how do you train for this?
Yeah, I sort of a lot of fellas go to the gym and do a bit of running and stuff. I just mainly chop blocks in my backyard. I've got a training ring set up, so I just chop blocks in the backyard. Yeah.
Oh yeah, right. And how often would you do that?
Before Sydney show, like the biggest one, Sydney, the Easter show, I'll probably train 5 times a week, 6 times a week.
Yeah.
Probably try and cut 3 or 4 blocks every day. So
yeah. And
try and like from the hardest wood I can find to the softest wood I can find. So just because you don't know what it's going to be, so I'll try and train how I'm going to compete.
Yeah, prep yourself for it.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, right. And what muscles are you using? Like obviously using your arms, but are you using like a lot of core when you're chopping, or like what do you feel?
Yeah, arms and your shoulders probably the main, but you do use a lot of core muscle.
Yeah. And
also legs. A lot of people don't use their legs, and then people are not really good. So yeah, if you want to be good, you got to use got to be using your legs.
Yeah. And how do you use them?
It's sort of hard to say, but like in a stand-up block, you really push off your back leg. Sort of like boxing, I suppose. Like when you're throwing a punch, you're pushing off your back leg. It's the same in chopping. You're pushing off that back leg to get as much power as you can into the swing. Yeah.
Well, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, you generate the power and then therefore, be stronger hit.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
Yeah, right. And have you had any because it is so upper body dominant, with a little bit of what you said with the power of the legs, have you had any injuries or anything with your shoulders?
Yeah, I have had a bit of injuries with one. I've had one shoulder reconstruction when I was 18 or 19, I think.
Yeah. And
the other one's probably not great either, so I might have to look at getting something done. I was actually in an event. I was actually chopping in a championship when I popped my shoulder out once. So
oh my God.
I was on the top of the swing and my shoulder popped out at the top of the swing and I couldn't hold on to the axe, so I sort of dropped the axe and it was pretty scary at the time, but yeah.
What did you do?
Didn't
was that
cut
it?
Myself.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sort of threw the axe and laid on the ground and cried for a little bit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, but no, luckily I didn't cut myself, which was the main thing. Yeah, trying not to swing that axe into my foot or something when my shoulders popped out. So.
Yeah, far out.
Yeah.
And is that a common thing, like having shoulder injuries with the other guys that you know?
I think a few people, a lot of the older guys probably have shoulder injuries, but I don't think, I'd never seen anyone do what I'd done. So, yeah, it is and it isn't. Like, there's fellas that have been chopping all their life and sort of don't have shoulder injuries either. Yeah. So it's just the luck of it, I suppose, yeah. Yeah,
right. So let's say you're going into a comp, like today, you've got your comp on today. What are you doing today?
I got an underhand Australian title.
Okay. So standing on top of the wood?
Standing on top of it, cutting between your feet. Yeah.
Okay. And pre-hand, did you, last night, did you have a big feast knowing that you're going to go into the competition?
Yeah, well, I actually won the stand-up block Australian title yesterday, so we actually went out and had a few beers. So probably not ideal for today, but
yeah.
Yeah, but no, we actually went to Ribs and Rumps and had a big steak last night. So,
oh my gosh! Yeah. So you're loaded today.
Yeah, I'm ready to go. Yeah, full of carbs.
Yeah. And do you find that affects you? Like when you do, if you don't eat a good meal before,
yes and no. I do like to eat a good solid meal before I do the night before. But there are certain things I won't eat before a championship. It's probably more bloody Just me not. I won't eat pizza before I chop in the championship the night before.
Why is that?
I don't know.
Did you have a bad experience?
Yeah, I lost two big chops and I blamed it on eating pizza the night before.
Oh,
so
no.
I don't think it's anything to do with the pizza. It's just, just me. So, yeah, I won't eat pizza the night before a big championship.
Yeah. What's your favourite thing you'll eat?
Steak.
Yeah, steak.
Plenty of steak,
Yeah. Get like the chips and the veg and stuff like that.
Yeah, the prawn topper and the chips. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Are you feeling rusty today from your beers last night?
No, I didn't go overboard last night. I sort of knew when to pull up. A few years ago, I probably would have been out all night, but getting a bit older, so I probably can't recover as quickly.
Yeah, it does that. Hey. So tell us about, how did you get into wood chopping?
I got into wood chopping through my father.
Yeah.
He worked in the timber industry all his life, so he I think when he was 14, 15, he was out the bush actually, cutting trees down for the timber industry.
Yeah.
And then just through a few old mates of his, he sort of...
Sorry, was that his job?
Yeah, that's what he done for a living, in the pine plantations and that, he'd actually go and handful.
Yeah.
Not so much with an axe them days, it was still with a chainsaw.
Yeah.
And he'd... he fell timber for his living and done that most of his life. And just through that, working in the bush, he sort of got into wood chopping with a few of his mates, and then he competed for 30 odd years or something. And then, me and my brother come along and, we're following around as toddlers with the little toy axe and chopping up all the cut logs already down the back. We would hack away all day and chop all day, and then just followed up through the ranks in the boys' chops, and then in the under 21s, and then into the
So what age can you start?
I think these raw shows have a limit of 12. You got to be 12 years. But there's one of my good mates. His kids are I think one of them's 8 and one of them's 6, and they just chop everything.
Oh my gosh.
They don't actually compete, but they do compete at the little country shows. But when I was little, still a toddler, there wasn't too much safe furniture or trees or anything. We would, me and my brother would be out chopping up all the gardens and all the furniture and whatever we could get with our toy axes or our little tomahawks, we would chop it up. So.
It was demolished.
Yeah, we got in a fair bit of trouble a few times for chopping furniture and stuff that we probably shouldn't have been chopping, but yeah.
Oh, how funny. Jeez. And then, so what age were you when you got into your full competition?
I think I won my first championship, my first big championship when I was 17. So I won my first Queensland title when I was 17. And I was sort of knocking on the door for a while. I'd cut second and third and fourth and then second for probably 12 months. I was probably just couldn't quite win one, and then I ended up winning one at my home show, actually, Blackbutt, so in front of all my family and friends, and won it there. And then since then I haven't looked back. I think I've won over 50 state titles and that. So that was after that day I sort of kept winning then. So it was pretty good day, pretty special day in front of all my family and friends and that too. So that was that would have been
awesome.
Yeah, that was a good moment in my chopping career so far.
Yeah, and because it's quite a niche sport, not many people that I know do it. Hey.
No, there's not a lot of people do it. I think it's because it's a hard sport to get into. Unless you sort of know someone that does it, it's sort of hard to.
Yeah. Why is it hard? Just maybe not familiar or something.
From getting where to get the axes, you can't just go to Bunnings and buy an axe, and getting wood and learning the right way to do it, sort of thing. And you can't just come off the street and buy an axe and come up to a wood shop and chop. There's sort of things you got to go through, and not that it's hard to go through, but. You just got to be a member of a club and be safe with an axe. If you show up at a show and start triggering into a block and it's unsafe, they're going to stop you from chopping, So
right, makes sense.
Yeah.
So what's your fastest time chopping a block?
My fastest time, it's actually an unofficial world record. Yeah. And I done it in Poland in 3 or 4 years ago. It was in a team's race for Australia, and I cut a 12-inch diameter log in 10 seconds.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so that was pretty fast.
That is quick. Was that 2 hits or?
No, a bit more than 2. I think I was.
Man, you must have been going like hell for it.
Yeah, I was going pretty quick, yeah.
Yeah, right. And then what about the standard log? What's the standard size log?
So 12-inch diameter is the standard log. That's what they cut at most events. So, 12-inch log, 300 millimeters is the standard size. And a normal one, like, would probably, if you cut one, like in our wood, it's probably, if you cut one in 20 seconds, is like really, really good. Yeah. So I cut one in 10, which is, pretty.
That's insane.
Yeah, I don't think there's ever been, well, to my knowledge, I don't think there's ever been one cut in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
The world record's actually 12 seconds, I think, so I cut 2 seconds under the...
Get out.
Because it was in a team's relay race, it wasn't actually...
Oh, it didn't count.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
that
it's
sucks.
unofficial, yeah. So it doesn't, so my name's not actually on the record book for a 10-second cut, but, it happened and everyone knows about it, so...
Yeah. And then, like, did you say that was in a relay?
Yeah, it was Australia versus New Zealand that we competed.
Okay.
So,
Was there a couple of guys and you, or was it...
so that was with the steel timber sport. So there's 4 guys. So it's like a chainsaw event, and then an underhand, and then a crosscut saw, and then a standing block. And I was on the standing block, and we were actually going pretty good. And the Kiwis got the jump on us into the standing block, and the fella had 2 hits on me, and I ended up catching him. So. And beat him. We broke the world record in that chop too. So that was probably another one of my special moments chopping. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Have you had like any close calls? Like, have you been very close to hurting yourself in any way, or like chopping and like you fall off, or?
Yeah. I've never actually cut myself bad enough to get stitches with an axe.
Oh, really?
I've never cut my toes.
Yeah.
I've cut like little bits of my fingers sometimes, like checking the edges and stuff. But I have fell off a few times. Yeah. That was close, but not close. Like not super close. But I have seen a few people. My brother's cut himself a few times. Yeah. I've seen a few. There's another fella chopping at the moment. He's cut both his big toes off. So. Oh my god! So he has no toes. I think they put one back on, but I don't know how well it works. So, but yeah. Oh wow. I've never. I can't recall the time where I've been like, oh geez, that was really close. I need to slow down, but there's been people that do it. So but I've been pretty lucky. Yeah, I haven't been that close to cut myself.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, I reckon I'd be scared doing it, but I reckon that like it's second nature. If you've been doing it since like the day that you were born, it's something that you'd be used to, and it's like walking, right? So
yeah, I reckon you go pretty good. You'd be right, Joan.
Yeah.
But no, you grow up with an axe, so if you learn the right ways to use an axe, you're not really gonna cut yourself.
So Mitch, about your axes, you brought one in today. What did you bring?
Yeah, so this is my axe that I won the Australian title with yesterday.
Oh wow, yeah.
And, I name all my axes, and this one's called Killer. Yeah, so I write the handle's name on there.
Oh my gosh.
So, yeah, and
it looks shiny.
Yeah, it's pretty sharp. Like you can shave with them.
Oh my god! Oh, you can too.
Yeah,
oh my god! Check this out. Mitch has just shaved his hair. That's crazy.
Yeah, but that's probably like a normal size axe. So.
Can I feel it? How heavy is it?
Don't drop it or anything.
I won't drop it. Oh my gosh, okay.
And an axe like that's probably like $800.
$800?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is fairly light, but how heavy is this?
I think it would be roughly 3 kilos, I think, all up. I'm not 100% certain, but normally about 3 kilos is what you chop with.
Oh my gosh. Check this out. That is shiny piece of equipment. That's crazy.
Yeah, so.
And are they all like this stainless steel look, or?
It's not actually stainless steel. It's just like tool steel, what all your tools are made out of. But it's just
stainless steel would crumple, wouldn't it?
Yeah, it's just like a real high quality steel, and it's just polished.
Yeah. Like
polished to be that shiny. Yeah, so that's what it is.
Yeah, Jesus. And do you polish all of them, or is that?
Yeah. So it's all polished. Well, it's firstly like it comes just as a blank bit of steel, and then you grind these in it and grind that bevel on it there, and then just polish it up with a polishing stone.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. All right. And can you get different weight in the head? Like.
Yeah, you can get whatever you want. So you can get different weights. they sort of come as a rough weight, and then you grind. That's what these are, the wings, we call them wings, in it for, just to take the weight and that out of it. And you can
get... okay, these parts here.
Yeah, that's just to take the weight and that out of it, and probably looks a bit better. But there's, like, that's the numbers on the back of them is your pattern and your size. So this is, it's 7 3/4 long by 7.5 wide, but you can, like 8 inches by 8 inches is probably the biggest sort of axe that we use. So yeah, you just order. It's all sort of personal preference, what size axe and what weights.
Okay, because I would think that like the wider it is, the more you chop.
Yeah, that's right. In good wood, that's what everyone runs with. Like the bigger the axeable wood you cut, but in hardwood, because it's such a big blade, it's hard to get the axe to actually go into the wood.
Okay.
Yeah, so the bigger the axe, the harder it is to make the axe cut.
So the more you'd have to have momentum and strength behind that.
More strength, yeah. So like the bigger guys, I'm probably not like that big compared to some of the wood choppers. Like some of them really big guys, like probably 140, 150 kilos. And,
holy hell. How heavy are you?
I'm about 116 kilos.
Yeah, and so, is that a standard? Or
that's probably like pretty heavy, but like some of the good guys are like there's 2 fellas that I chop with, and they're like 6'4" and like probably 120, 130 kilos. So and they're the same age as me, so they're pretty big boys. But and they use like probably a little bit bigger axes than me, just because they're a bit bigger and probably a bit stronger. But But yeah, I sort of like just using the standard size axe.
Yeah. And so if that was what you used yesterday, what is this ribbon that you've brought in for me?
So that's the ribbon that I won yesterday. So
wow.
I think it's the 325mm standing block Australian title.
Oh, very cool. And how many of these ribbons do you hold?
At the Australian titles, I think I have 8 or 9 of Australian titles now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I won that one. That's the second year in a row that I won that one, so that's
very special.
Good, yeah.
So tell me about where in the world have you been chopping, like going in competitions and...
I've been lucky enough to go a few places overseas. I've been to New Zealand. I probably do 2 or 3 trips to New Zealand a year over there to compete. And I've also been to Europe quite a few times with the Australian team. So I've been to chopped in Poland one year, and then Germany, Stuttgart in Germany, we chopped one year. Yeah. And we also chopped in Lillehammer one year.
Where's that? Somewhere. All right. Somewhere over there. Do you get like sponsored for this, or is it like, how does it, is that a lot of funding for yourself?
Them trips are pretty lucky. We're pretty lucky with them. It's with the steel chains or steel timber sports. So they look after us pretty well when we go over there in the Australian team. But I don't have a sponsor as such. There's a few guys that got sponsors, and it does make it a hell of a lot easier for them guys with sponsors. But yeah, most of it's all self-funded. So, but you do make a little bit of money out of it, so you can pay your way. You know, if you come out a few dollars ahead, you're normally pretty happy. Yeah,
cool. And where do you think you're going to go with wood chopping? What's your next big thing?
Well, we got an event at the Gold Coast coming up for the steel timber sports, and it's to go this year to Prague. They got the world title, so I'd love to win that and head over there. It's probably the next thing in line, but also want to go to America one day, America and Canada, and just chop over there and just trip around a bit and have a chop.
Have they got some big fellas over there?
Yeah, there's some good guys, but I think in general, I think the Australian and New Zealand guys are probably
the best.
Better. They probably don't like me saying that, but I think they're probably the better guys.
So you might go over there and rip it all up and win.
Yeah, might not be allowed back.
Oh, cool. So tell me, Mitch, what's your advice for someone who's like really inspired and wants to become a wood chopper? How do they get into it? If it, like you said, it's hard.
Yeah. So you have to jump online and become a member of your state associations, like Queensland Axemen's Association or New South Wales Axemen's Association, and just have to get in contact with someone. They'll point you in the right directions and through the website. And just the main thing is when you start chopping is just to go slow. Don't get there and think you're world champion and try and go flat out, because you will hurt yourself. Just go slow. And you gotta listen. Like everyone gives you, because there's a lot of older fellas that chop too, and everyone wants to help you and give you advice. And you know, you sort of just got to take it all in and listen to what everyone's might not be right sometimes, but you sort of got to take it in and listen to what everyone's saying.
Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay. Well, that sounds good. And then what about some like advice, like when you're in the moment, like what's your advice when you're chopping away on the wood?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing what I've found the last few years is not to doubt yourself. I think the minute that I doubt myself is when I get beat.
Yeah.
Like if I go out there to a big championship and I say to myself, you know, I'm going to win, no one's going to beat me.
Yeah.
That's when I win. Like no one beats me.
Yeah.
But the minute I start doubting myself, thinking, oh geez, you know, that guy's got a better axe, or my block's hard, or the minute I put a bit of doubt in my head, that's when when I don't do so well. So I just try and go out there every big chop and just say to myself that, you know, no one's going to beat me.
Yeah.
Today I'm going that good, and you know, unless I stuff up, no one's going to beat me. So I think just don't doubt yourself, and just, you know, as soon as you get that in your head, start doubting yourself, I think you're in trouble. Yeah. Before you start, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's all about like the belief, the power of the mind.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you got to be in the right mindset, because if you're not, you're behind straight away, I think.
Yeah. Do you think about like the night before? Do you visualize yourself winning? Do you ever?
Yeah, all the time. Like before a big job, I have trouble sleeping sometimes, you know, just because I'm thinking about what I'm going to do and how I'm going to go about it and whatnot. And it's probably not the ideal thing, because you really need a good night's sleep. But even some mornings, and it probably sounds a bit silly and like probably I'm a bit full of myself, but so I go to some chops some mornings and I know I'm going to win. Like I feel that good in myself that there's no one that can beat me that day. Yeah. And a lot of the times I do win, but there is sometimes where I you know, make a mistake and do get beat. But it's a pretty good feeling when you wake up and you go to a show and you sort of feel like you're going to win and know you're going to win. Yeah. And I'm sure like a lot of other good athletes would think the exact same thing. So yeah, and it's a pretty good feeling when you go there and you know you can win. Yeah. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, of course. It would give you like more energy to go on the block and go ahead and smash it out and win.
Yeah, for sure. And I think sometimes it probably works another way. You probably take it a bit light and do get beat sometimes. But yeah, you just sort of got to know how to go about it. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you do when you do lose? Like when you didn't win? Does that really affect you, or like how do you go about that?
Yeah, it does affect me a fair bit. I hate, or no one likes to lose, but like sometimes, like I really do set myself to win. I get pretty beat up if I do. Not so much if I cut good and lose, I'm happy. Yeah. Like, because I got beat by a better person. Yeah. Like that doesn't worry me. It's when I stuff up and probably should have won, but because I stuffed up, I got beat, and that's what. So if I go my best and get beat, I'm happy because I went as good as I could, and I was beaten by the better person on that day. Yeah. But when I go out there and stuff up, and probably, you know, it's my fault that I lost, that's when I get cranky. But I try not to carry on about it. I know there's some people that in the chopping that get beat and do carry on, and it doesn't look good. And so I try and, you know, always go up and shake hands with whoever beat me and be good about it. And even though I dying inside, but you know, always try and be a good sport. And at the end of the day, it's only a piece of wood, really. So I try not to get too caught up in it all. Yeah.
And like what you're saying is like just then with when you chop a certain way and it doesn't turn out, what do you mean? Like, is it a different angle that you should have chopped the wood, or what?
Yeah, there's a number of things, like you might use the wrong axe, or you know, you might stick a hit. That's pretty common, you know.
What's that mean?
So when you hit and the axe sticks and you can't get it back out, that happens a fair bit. Yeah. So you know, put a bad hit in that doesn't cut on the right angle and just doesn't go anywhere, or chips hang on you, or you and an unhand you fall off your log, or there's heaps of things that could happen that go wrong. And you know, a lot of people say, oh, it was bad luck, but it's probably not really bad luck. It's probably your doing, you know, that you know, that chip hang there, or that axe stuck, and it's not really bad luck. It's
just a performance.
What you've done. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think that's where a lot of people go wrong. They say, oh, you know, it was bad luck that chip hung there, or that me axe stuck, and it's sort of not bad luck. It's sort of your fault that happened, you know. So you sort of got to work on things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Mitch, I've got a question for you. How much wood can a wood chopper could chop wood?
Yeah, I've been asked that heaps. I still don't know the right answer.
I was like, I have to whip it out.
Yeah, no, I've got nothing for you there.
Well, it's been lovely listening to you tell me all about your wood chopping, and congratulations on your amazing titles, and good luck today. And I'm very excited. We'll have to put some footage up for the guys to check you out and see what you can do.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming in and having a chat.
No worries. Thanks for having me.
Thanks so much for your support, guys. If you're listening to the podcast, please leave me a 5-star written review. If you're on YouTube, like and subscribe so you can keep up to date with these incredible stories. If you're not on YouTube, jump on over so you can see this week's episode of the Fearlss Challenge. So Mitch has got the Fearlss Challenge for me. What are we doing?
So we're doing a single saw today, so using a 6-foot long crosscut saw, and there you go.
And what do I have to do?
I actually call it the misery whip sometimes. So
misery whip?
Yep, so
Why do they
cut that
call
log in half with a saw.
In half, that whole log?
Yeah, it looks pretty hard too.
How long should it take me?
It should take 30 seconds.
30 seconds? How long does it take you?
Probably 20 seconds, something like that. So let's see how we go.
Mitch is going to start the saw for me, and then I'm going to whip into it. We'll see how long it takes me. What's some tricks?
So you stand on the side of it.
This way?
Yep, that way.
Yep.
Spread your legs a little bit more.
Like this?
Yep, and push and pull.
Push and pull.
Yep.
Come on. How's she going?
There you go, I'm good.
How close am I? Don't help her. My biceps are on fire. Show me how big your guns are. No, show me. Look at me, some big biceps there.
How do you feel?
I'm actually really puffed.
Actually went pretty good. You actually surprised me how good you went.
My,
I didn't think you'd go as far.
oh, that's challenging. That's a good challenge. That's right, thank you. How much is this weigh?
6 or 7 kilos probably.
Oh yeah.
And they're about 2 or 3 grand.
Holy hell.
And you only get about 3 cuts out, or 10 cuts out of them, and then you got to get them away to get sharpened.
Wow.
Yep. So, yeah, a lot of money there.
Why do you wear volleys?
Just because they get nice and flat on the bottom and also nice and grippy. So, and if you cut them, you only waste $20 or something. So.